Hit the button.
Thank you. Gracias. How's everybody doing? My name's Louis Delgado, street certified dope Dr. Louis Delgado. You're watching The Couch Live, and I'm here along with my partner, JoJo. Hello, JoJo. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? How's everyone? Hello.
Man, I was totally unplugged, JoJo. But before we get to that, we got to at least tell everybody where we're at. Of course, we're at WOKB 1680 AM in the Central Florida area. That's 100.7 FM for those of you that like the FM dial. And of course, some people may be watching on Twitch or Facebook Live or YouTube or something like that. Or they're listening to it later. Listen to it as a podcast or whatever, or watching it later on YouTube. I don't know. There's all different kinds of ways that people get to it, JoJo. But anyway, WOKB is who we do it for, which is why when we do this particular show and how we do it, we don't use certain words, JoJo, because it's a WOKB, and we got to be friendly and loving to the station, and we can't get anyone in trouble, right?
I know. I try.
Yeah.
Mouth.
No,
so far with me yet.
So far we've done well. Listen. This show has been on since 1999, JoJo, and I think I've accidentally cursed on the radio one time.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. I think it's only been one time. But I remember when I went on live for Orange TV, for anyone that remembers those days, this show was on live television in Orange County, and they were so afraid of me cursing that they bought a special system, a delay system. And I still remember to this day, it would cost $7,000 for them to buy. And they were worried. They just wanted to be prepared that if I accidentally said something that wasn't government approved, they would hit that button. Never had to use it.
See why.
They never had to use it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Despite their fears.
I had a little birdie in my ear like, JoJo?
Oh, yeah.
JoJo?
Oh, yeah. You have to. Yeah, because it's gonna be the day that you don't expect it, that all of a sudden it flies out of your mouth. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that.
Especially when you're passionate. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I managed not to let one go.
No, you've done phenomenal.
Did you see my broke nail when I did like this?
No, let me see it. Now that you mentioned, I gotta see your broke nail. What do you mean you broke nail? I don't think I've ever seen you with a broken nail. Like all mine are broken. Hey, you're muted. How are you going to leave me? No, you're muted. How did that happen? Oh, that's funny. Your mic is not connected. That is so funny. Everybody here on WOKB 1680, she's talking away. Her lips are flapping, but there's nothing coming out. Maybe like her broken nail, she has a broken microphone or something as well. I don't know. So I'm gonna just go ahead and fill in some time while JoJo figures it out. But it says that you're disconnected somehow, so she'll figure it out. Anyway, yeah, you're back. You're fixed.
See, the world did not want to know about this broke nail.
See that you have a guardian angel that didn't want you to expose the broken nail.
No, that's a fine.
What were you saying about it before we get into today's topic? What were you saying about it?
I talk with my hands, so I didn't know if it popped out yet, but I'm glad if it did or if it didn't, because I tell on myself. That's so right. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, did you see her with 9 nails?
Yeah.
I have 9. I'm going to the salon afterwards. So just know.
Like your hand moves so fast, JoJo, I wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
I know, but just, people have binoculars.
Some people do. Some people catch that stuff really quick.
Yes. And then next time I know, I'm on a meme, moving my hand with 9 nails.
All right, so let's get into it. So again, this show has been on the air since 1999. Wow, storm just hit right when I said that. So I got like, you hear that?
Yeah.
Like God said, yes, it's 1999. I bless you, Mr. Delgado. Yeah, thank you very much, God.
Yeah,
but anyway, so we've been exactly. So we've been on the air since 1999, helping people out with mental health issues, substance use disorders, whatever's going on in your life. And JoJo's a new co-host on the show. It's about a little bit over a month now, right? About a month or more. And you know, I was thinking about something, JoJo. I was thinking about this upcoming show because I was on vacation. I was in Canada, and I went to go visit the 51st state and check it out and see how they like us and what they think about us. And they were, you know, it was good. It was a beautiful place. First of all, Canada's beautiful. If you ever have,
Oh, I love Canada.
I've never been. It was the first time, and I loved it. It was beautiful.
It was.
I'll
Aren't the
have,
streets clean? The streets are clean.
yes, you know, I didn't see much of the city. I mean, we were in Toronto maybe like several hours. Didn't stay in Toronto, and I guess if there's going to be a dirty place, it's going to be something like Toronto, right? That looked Toronto, but that was
so
it was
clean.
a little people on top of people on top of people on top of people and traffic, and it was a little hectic-ish. I don't know. It was a little. To me, it reminded me of New York. So
Really?
yeah,
Maybe it was the season
Toronto.
that I went in.
Yeah,
it wasn't saturated like that.
It was packed.
And the streets look like you don't even walk on them.
Oh wow.
They were so clean.
Okay.
Yes, but I loved it, and I can't wait to go back. And it doesn't take that long to get there.
No, it's close. We went 2 hours north of Toronto, which is then that was just like our country. First of all, Canadians, just, you know, for everybody, Canadians, you can just like us. I don't even see what you guys complain about or ever talk about. And 2 things I noticed, JoJo. Number one, I think Canadians are the ones that spread the rumor that they're the nicest people. I think they are the ones, because I've heard them say, they said it over and over the whole time we were there.
Really?
We're known to be nice. There's nothing more arrogant than people constantly telling you we're known to be the nice ones while they're dissing on our presidente. You know what I mean? Like we don't have a problem with you, but it's your president. It's like, you know what? That was they had like a, what do you call it? They're very passive aggressive in their talking smack. Like, you know, Americans will just tell you suck, right? They just flat out tell you, right? You know, and they do it in a very different way. Yeah. But so that's number one. Number two, you know how Americans always get dissed on for like being like nationalists, like the American flag and all that stuff. And like, if you see someone wearing an American flag, we have certain judgment placed upon them. Like if they wear an American flag shirt or, you know, have an American flag on their car, we have a certain judgment that seems to, there's a thing that we tend to throw on people like that.
Really?
Over there, that Canadian flag is everywhere. Every commercial is Canadian made, Canadian this, support Canada. We're Canadian. They are more nationalistic than anywhere I've ever been.
You better rep your country.
It was tough. It was strong. They were all talking about elbows up. Like they're talking about fighting us. You know, they're doing that hockey term, elbows up, Canada. You know, like they're going to fight us. It's like, hey, you guys know darn well you can't really fight us. I just
love how confident they are. They do not hold back. Like, I love it.
Because nobody gonna bomb Canada. Like Canada, like you could talk all the
smack. Yes.
Canada's like that friend you have that like he's the smallest of the group, but he knows he hangs out with real tough dudes. So they nobody's gonna say nothing to him anyway. So he can talk all the smack in the world that he wants. That's Canada. Canada can say anything they want. They know darn well nobody's gonna mess with you, Canada. So whatever.
I love confidence and a little bit of cocky.
Yeah. You know, so anyway, but I loved it. It's a beautiful place, great place. The people were really nice. The food is really good. The Indian food there is amazing, man. They have a huge Indian population. I'm not talking Native American. I'm talking India. Great food up there. So I loved it.
Oh, I wish I can't even bring it up, but they have like this special, you know, that special food that you have in Canada. I'm gonna have to remember and tell you next time.
Poutine? They got poutine everywhere.
Yes.
I don't like that stuff. No, that's just mush.
Either.
That's mush.
They were like, this is the best poutine. I don't even know I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
And I taste it, and oh my gosh.
You like it?
No.
Oh, Zoe ate it like 50 times.
Really?
Yeah, Zoe loved it. I hated it.
I could not even take a second bite.
No. Indian food I love. Like ethnic food I love. Like other kinds, you know what I mean? I love Japanese food, you know, all that kind of. I love Italian food. I love, of course, Mexican food because I'm a little biased. Soy mexicano. But that poutine, I'm not. No, I'm not into like throwing sauce into my stuff. I mean, I like dipping sauce, but I don't like everything sitting in the liquid like that, you know. And I like my potatoes like French fries or a baked potato. I don't like them soaking in the sauce like that.
I can't stand that.
But beautiful country, loved it. You know.
Oh, and happy Father's Day. I know
Thank
Father's
you very
Day.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know,
yeah.
passed.
Yeah.
So happy
Yeah.
Father's Day.
It's a beautiful thing. So
I hope
hopefully
everyone had a happy Father's Day.
yeah. Yeah. I hope so too. I mean, not everybody's gonna, right? Somebody out there is disappointed, but
Mm-hmm.
you just got to feel blessed when your time is good, and you just got to take the hit when your time is bad. So let's get into that. So who am I? Who am I?
I was just about to say,
Were you gonna say it like that? Who
I was
am
thinking of
I?
Petey Pablo.
Well, see, you think that, and I think Beanie. I think Beanie Man, and you think Pablo.
Petey Pablo.
Yeah,
So who am I?
yeah.
I
Who
think
am
it's a
I?
great
Because
topic.
well, this is the reason I want to talk about it, Judge. I want to talk about it because we often identify ourselves like we consider, and I think erroneously, we think I am whatever I do. Have you noticed, like when you meet somebody, right? Like when you meet somebody for the first time, how you doing? My name is Louie, and you go, hey, my name is JoJo. Very soon in the conversation, what is the question that gets asked?
What do you do?
Yeah. What do you do? And
Yeah.
often that is how we view ourselves. And the people that don't ask what do you do are the people that don't want you to ask what they do.
Right.
Right? See, when you're
That's
being a little
a good-
shady, and I've lived my life a little shady back in the day, so I never did ask what you do because I didn't want you to ask what I did. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, understandable.
But once you have, like, let's say you're a doctor or an attorney or something you want to let everybody know, oh, that's definitely coming out your mouth right away. What do you do? Because I want to let you know
Exactly.
I'm an attorney. How are you? You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not who you are. That's what you do.
Exactly.
Or then you ask, are you in a relationship? Like if you can't get a good glimpse of the ring finger or something like that. And then today's world, a lot of people don't wear rings, or they wear little rubber rings, or they wear like tattoo rings or whatever.
Tattoos.
So that's like the next question, right? It's like, oh, are you in a relationship? Or, right? It's like, so it's
Right.
all, nobody asks you who you really are. Nobody comes up to you and go, hey, are you trustworthy? Are you
Right.
nice?
Okay. Yes.
Do you tell the truth? Are you friendly? Nobody. We
And that's who we
identify
are.
because that's really who you are.
That's exactly who you are. It's not your job. Your job is
Right.
an assignment, not your identity.
Right.
And so people get that misconstrued all the time. I don't even think for some people it is even something that you pay attention to.
Explain.
Explain. So a lot of people, like you said, they identify themselves with their jobs and their careers or their businesses. Right. And so if people aren't in the position that they want to be in, the job, their dream business, oftentimes they feel less than. They feel less than accomplished, less than, being on a certain platform than other people. Then here comes depression along, low self-esteem, low self-worth, and that's not who you are. And so it's so sad to see. And I can give a good example of, how you hear of someone extremely successful and they commit suicide. And no one identifies. They're like, what? This person was a millionaire. They had all
everything.
These businesses. They had everything. And I guarantee what it really was, the lack of understanding who they are. Right. And then healing who they are, so that they would still be around. Right. Your job you can lose,
Amen.
You can be up today and out of it tomorrow. But who you are is what matters, because if I know who I am, regardless if I lose everything, right, I can get it back because of, my integrity, my values, my morals, my strength, my power. That's what we want. So what about you?
I'm so with you. And unfortunately, it's really tough for people to ever understand why somebody that is a celebrity would be depressed. Right? When you have someone with a lot of money saying, I'm sad, I'm depressed, they're like, oh man, you got nothing to be sad about. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You want sadness, take my bills, have my bills.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have my foreclosure notice. You want to feel bad. You know what I mean? So you're right. People tend to, I don't know, have a lot less sympathy for somebody because we judge them by their money or judge them by their fame. When in reality, look, man, who you are has nothing to do with dollars and cents.
No.
Now I know there's at least one person out there saying I'd rather have that. I'd rather have the $1 million in there in that depression than my no money in my depression. And then you're right. I'm not going to say that money doesn't resolve certain issues, but it resolves the issues that you're currently thinking about.
Right.
But when you're struggling internally, sometimes that's the frustrating part is, wow, I really thought that once I attained this level of success that I would feel better, and I still don't.
Right. So that's when you're truly
at least if you're feeling that way and you have not yet attained that level, there's hope that, okay, all I need to do then is let me go get this job. Let me go get some more school. Let me change jobs. Let me get out of this relationship. There's hope. But when you have what is perceived to be everything and you're still not feeling it.
And I know a lot of people can identify with that.
Yes.
I mean, I can identify with it, especially in my younger years, where, for example, when I went and got my bachelor's degree, and then I went and got my master's degree, and then you keep seeking all of these letters behind your name or different careers, or I want to open this business and etc. And I didn't know who I was.
Right.
And so every time I chased something, it was like, that was, I did that. Okay, bye. What's next? And I never took the time to actually enjoy what I have conquered because I'm replacing who I am with actual things and objects and tangible items to satisfy who I was or to replace who I was. And the reality was, you are a hurt, still little girl who is still a victim of what she has experienced. And that is why you continue to seek validation or the need to heal by saying, oh, I am enough because I have my master's degree. I am enough because now I am a manager. And no, it's not what it's about. And if people who are on that wave, eventually it catches up with you.
Yeah.
Eventually you have to face your truth. If you want to live a fulfilling and great life, because some people are just stuck, and not because they have to be, but they choose to be, or they can't see truly like the wall of why they aren't where they want to be.
Right.
I could lose my job tomorrow. I mean, I've walked out on a job once in my life. And only once, y'all. I am not pro walk out on your job. Please don't do that.
Yeah, especially if you work for me, don't do that.
Right, me either. Please, I need you. But I remember walking out of that job, and I was free. Like, people were like, "What? Are you okay? Like, you don't have a job. You're not employed. What are you doing? Your life is over." And I was such at a peace, Louis. I was just like, I'll get another job. Yeah. My sanity meant more. But there was a part of my life where I would have stuck on a job and been treated like boo-boo and wouldn't even look for a next occupation, because here I am. I'm so loyal to this job more than I am to myself.
Right.
And so I know for a fact there are many people out there who struggle with just learning who you are. And I know in my therapy with clients, that's one of the questions I ask them is, who are you? And first of all, 9 out of 10 of them say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the ones who do answer, they talk about their accolades. They talk about their successes. Take all that away.
Yeah.
Be butt naked.
Right.
Who is that person? Unclothed.
Raw.
Metaphorically, yes. Who is behind all the stuff that you're kind of like it protects you, or it's a covering, or it's like a turtle shell. Who's that person? You need to know.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes, like we've talked about job, but also in relationships, we identify sometimes by the relationship. Because you said stuck. You brought up that word stuck. Sometimes we feel stuck in a
Mm-hmm.
certain relationship. Now I know there's some runners out there. Some of you listening, you're runners. I mean, is the first sign of a problem in your relationship, you run. You know.
I
Um,
prefer to.
yeah, yeah. Look. I just celebrated yesterday. I just celebrated 32 years of marriage. So clearly, I'm not a
No, that's
runner.
right.
I ain't going nowhere.
I
If
know
you want to
that's
argue,
right.
let's argue. But I'm staying here. This is my bed. You know what I mean? You
You're
can
not even
stay
getting
too.
out the bed, right?
No, no, no. I'm
No.
staying in the room, so you can keep all you want. I might go. I might all I want, but at the end of the day, we're both gonna be here tomorrow. So let that go. But
So you're
anyway,
not sleeping on the couch.
no. I got other rooms. I'm gonna sleep in another room. I ain't sleeping on couch anyway. Man. Come on now.
You know.
But the point is that even in relationships, sometimes you have to pivot, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people stay just a day too long. There's a lot of unfortunate people that stayed one day too long, and it didn't work out so well for them. You
Absolutely.
well, there's warning signals in your life sometimes, and if you identify yourself by that job, you stay in a job that has caused you a bunch of pain for years and never changed or never took the risk to get out of it, or did anything about it. You waited for
Right.
something else to come at you rather than you just go get it. Things don't come at
You
you. That's
become
rare. That's
complacent.
rare. Fortune doesn't discover you too often. You have to go. You have to go attain it.
I like that.
You know, relationships, same thing. I think that people wait for the right person to come to them. Or I love when people say, "Oh, there's no good men out there," and I'm thinking, okay, well, there's men that say there's no good women out there. I mean, are you a good
Right.
person? Yeah, I'm a good person. Well, if you're a good person, are you saying you're the only good person on earth? I mean, there's got to be another one.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you got plenty of time to find it. You just got to find it.
I used to be that person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all these men out here dogs. Like, are you a dog? Okay,
Yeah.
so it has to be. They might be a small percentage,
Right.
but they do exist. And I like when you talked about relationships
Mm-hmm.
because when I think about who am I,
Yeah.
and like you talked about, I believe that when people stay in relationships that are volatile, that are abusive,
Mm.
that are painful, infidelity,
Mm.
the reason why we stay so long and a lot of people don't even leave is because either they forgot who they are or they never really learned truly
Yeah.
who they are.
Yeah.
And so if you want to leave, if you know you're in a bad relationship, I would say to that person, do you know who you are? Do you know who you used to be? Because we get lost in love, lost in the commitment, lost in loyalty, lost in we've had all these years. I'm
Mm.
afraid to be single again.
Mm.
Lost in we have too many possessions.
Right.
We have kids, and I could tell you by my own experience, baby girl and sir, if you are mistreated, I need you to know and remember who you are. When you know who you are, like you don't accept certain things.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in a relationship and I was picked on for like, oh, you think you're a counselor?
Mm.
And I used to let it bother me. And I'm like, he said this about me. No, why would I be upset about someone putting me down
Yeah.
when I know who I am? That's just like someone calling you ugly. And at some point, you thought you were beautiful.
Yeah.
So why them calling you ugly goes hard? It should be rolling off like,
Yeah. You almost did it.
Yeah, I know you lied.
You almost did it.
I caught myself.
You did. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
But that's how passionate you are about it, because there are people out there that they know what they're doing. They know what button they're pushing, but you know what? I feel I used to walk around with a really big button, right? And I had my button on my chest was as big as Flavor Flav's clock. You know what I'm saying? So everybody could push my button because I had it exposed. I had it out there. So all you had to do is say one of the magic words that really made me feel horrible because I was so insecure about certain words. And if you'd use any of those words, I'm like,
Trigger.
I'm already, yeah. And I'm the kind that when I feel, I respond in aggression. So I don't internalize it. I don't get sad. I don't get depressed. I don't know how to just process those feelings well. I just get very volatile and I just get very reactionary. Right? That's how I process pain. Right? Back then, well, I still struggle with. Look, my wife tells me all the time. She goes, "You just don't feel guilt." I go, well, who would want that? You want me to actually practice? Like, because let's think about that for a second, JoJo. To be a more advanced human, I would have to then like feel, certain feelings that they don't look like attractive feelings to me, JoJo. So I'm cool with being a little ice on some of that stuff. Yeah. That's just where I'm at, JoJo. I'm just not one to want to seek what guilt feels like, shame.
See?
I
like that though. I like that. We're two opposites, so I think it's so relatable. Yeah. You're like that, and I'm the opposite. Complete opposite.
Tell me.
I'm like, oh, I own myself. Actually, my friends love it because I'm like, oh my goodness, yeah, I was mean. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a mean person. Oh, you know what? I should feel guilty for saying that because that wasn't nice. You're the opposite of me, but it took me some time.
I don't want to feel it. No, because it doesn't look like a good feeling. No.
Yeah, I want to feel it.
And maybe it's because early on I was surrounded by people who would take advantage of those feelings. Like you have feelings like that. All of a sudden they were like, "Oh, I got you." You know what I mean? That's an in the hell no. No, I'm not. But now it's just it's just part of who I like. I feel more than my wife thinks I feel. I just don't. I don't express it like that. I say it in a way that I look like I'm not feeling it, I guess. I'm not a tearful guy. I'm not a, I'm just not.
But that's good. You know why? You said who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one says that you have to be this,
right,
person,
right.
But you know that I am, okay, this is a part of me. This is part of my makeup.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to say it. That's just me. Yeah. I had to learn that I am extremely sensitive because I have put up a wall. You think I am, just nuck if you butt well.
Right.
I mean, that's in me too. But the point is, like, I had to be true to myself to realize, like, I am a sensitive person. And some of my experiences made me, present and cover myself in a way, which is fine to protect yourself, but also be able to identify that I am not this emotionless individual. I'm not this heartless, cutthroat individual. I'm mushy. I'm sensitive. I cry if I see a certain movie.
See, that's awesome. No, but JoJo, you could play therapy on me all you like. Let me tell you something. I'm sensitive, so me not showing the emotion doesn't mean I don't feel it. Like I'm sensitive, but my response is just, in other words, my response doesn't go attacking me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't make that connection to attack me. In other words, my response becomes like an aggressive response or passive aggressive response where I just like ignore you. But then I forget about it like quick.
Okay.
Like,
okay. I like that.
Like, 5 minutes later or an hour later, I'm like, it never even happened. What are you talking about? Like, I'm cool with that because I don't have a scorecard.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So like, just get away from me right now, and then like we're good tomorrow. We're good later. I don't care. You still want to go to dinner? I'm good. Like it never happened. I don't care. You're gone again. You're gone again. You got to fix your microphone. But so while she's gone, because her microphone dipped out again on me. Oh, you're back.
No.
You were gone for a second.
I haven't.
I don't know what to tell you. So other people now. So we talked about relationships. Some people identify themselves by their situation.
Yes.
Like I'm on probation. I'm in jail. I have 2 kids. I have 20 kids. I don't care, whatever this is. I'm on welfare. I don't care what your situation is. The point is that some people identify themselves by their situation. Right?
That's absolutely. Like, I have been abused.
Oh, pain. That's another one. Yeah, the pain. Some people identify by the pain of their situation. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I was going to tell you before my mic muted. I'm a frequent flyer of this. When you were saying who you are, right?
Yeah.
If I said, okay, tell me who you are,
Mm.
and you use I am, what would you say?
I am a very I am a student. I think the biggest thing I can say is I'm constantly observing everything because I feel like I'm just a sponge. I soak in everything, and the output I give, I want to enjoy the output, whatever it is. So I think that's why I've never really had a job, right? I've always worked for myself, always created, because the creativity of the hunt. I have to hunt for money every month, right? Like, in other words, like, it's not guaranteed when you own a business, right? All the business owners out there know it's never guaranteed. I think the highest nut that I always had to have every month. I remember when I had this place in Brevard County or whatever. It was $100,000 nut per month. I'm just giving you the basic number. Just imagine waking up on the first day of the month and you knew, okay, all those last months, that's all done. I got to make $100,000 this month just to make this month. So who I am is a person that I like the wait. I like the hustle. I like, the fact that it's not guaranteed, but I'm very ritualistic. I am a person that does things over. If I like it, I'm there over and over again. I think I'm married 32 years because once I find something I like, I like, this is what I like. Why am I going to order anything else from the restaurant when I know what food I like at the restaurant?
Right.
So everything I do is very ritualistic because that's my stability, because there's so much instability in my head, right? My head is always like having to have something else, something more. Like I'm constantly, I have to chase because I put myself in that situation. I didn't give myself a safe job. I didn't put myself in a government job or something that I know I can't get fired from or do. You know what I mean? I put myself in risky situations every day professionally. So personally, I like everything stable. So I am a person of balance. I am a person that's constantly looking for balance, whatever it is. So if there's loud noise over here, I have to find silence over here. If there's a lot of activity over here, I have to find zero activity over here. I am a Libra through and through, constant recalibration. And I am a person who firmly believes in right now, which is why I called the foundation the Now Matters More Foundation, because I firmly believe I don't give a dang who you think you were, what is, blah, blah, blah. It's what are you doing right now?
Love it.
Because my worst moment in my life, I was looking in that mirror when I made the strongest decision I've ever made in my life. I was looking in that mirror, and for that split second, I saw through the money. I saw through the drug. I saw through whatever false sense of power I thought I had. And I saw a weak, feeble, scared little kid. And I hated it. And I knew this moment, I got to embrace this. Whatever this feeling is, I never want this feeling again. And I put myself in here, regardless of what pains have happened to me, regardless of what life circumstances, what happened to me, regardless of this country, this law, that law, this authority figure, that authority. None of that matters. What matters is, what are you going to do about it? And that's when I looked right at myself and I said, I got it.
I love it.
So that's when my entire life changed. And from that moment forward, it's just been, I'm a student. I may talk a lot, but I listen. You may not believe it. I listen a lot more than I talk. And a lot of my talking has to do with, if I give you an image, then you don't ask me a lot because I gave you who I am. So now you're not going to ask me who I am. And that was a thing I learned back then. So now it just is normal and natural. But you know how earlier when you said, I got a broken nail? It's just like that. If I tell you, that I'm a C student, then you're never going to expect an A or B from me.
Right. And I love that. You know what I paid attention to is that you learned who you were, and because of who you are, that's how you were able to seek out what you wanted to do in your life. And so I think that right there is an example of success.
Yeah.
You know, like successful meaning, you know, people have all these jobs and it's not even who they are. Like, why are you working construction when you don't like the sun?
Right.
You know, but I have to understand who I am and seek out, because I'm this way. I love to do this. I love to do that. And so I should be looking for jobs who fulfill that purpose versus you trying to fulfill a job.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my great childhood friends learned that lesson early on. Ramy, if you ever watch this, brother, I love you. But he used to tell me there's something about when he swings that hammer, when he's out there sweating in the sun and swinging that hammer, he's happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that always, like, I couldn't understand that in those early years. You know, I'd be like, what? I got to own the construction company, brother. What are you talking about? See? Swinging a hammer. What happens when your body aches too much? You break your bones, your back. You can't swing the hammer anymore. Now what? You know what I mean? So you know, I'm a hedge better. You know what I mean? I don't bet on red or black. I you know, I just keep the money. You know, or I'm going to bet on both. I'm going to hedge bet, right?
I love that.
But you know, I'm not gambling like that. And to me, that was a gamble. But for him, he really understood. Look, no, I have to be doing that. When I have too much alone time or quiet time, or, like, you know, where my mind goes, it goes to really bad places. So he has to physically be constantly doing that worked for him.
Right. And knowing that helps you be successful.
Yeah.
I know, like, I don't know about you, Louis, but I interview differently. Or if I'm looking for someone to work with me or work for that position, yes. Certain roles have certain qualifications.
Okay.
But it's very rare that I hire the individual that comes with their accolades. Like, I was the doctor of, you know, Princeton University. And before that, I did this, and I was the Marine. Like, I saw that on your resume.
Yeah.
Yo, like, I want to know who you are. Like, I want to know that you're passionate about what you do. I want to know that you want to make an impact on the world. Like that's the person I'm going to hire. Oftentimes, I know when I worked for organizations in senior leadership, I've had some people like, why did you hire them? Like, they have the degree, but they have absolutely no experience. Why? Because I saw what was in them and what they want to do in this field. No, so I don't do that. I remember people when I applied for jobs, and I had the bachelor's degree. I taught in school, and I remember one lady telling me when I walked in, all she did was telling me how put together I was. I love your hair. I love your shoes. I love, you know, your perfume. And it was just like, well, what about loving me? Like, I love to teach. Like, I am a servant, you know. I am passionate about helping people grow. And they didn't care, you know. And so I think it's big for not just, we're talking about individuals realizing who they are, but also if you are a leader, you know, if you are able to make an impact in individuals' lives, or even in a matter of success, to know people for who they are. I waste a lot of time. Now let's go the opposite way.
Okay.
We waste a lot of time trying to figure out who someone is, or not figuring out who they are. Who are you? Beyond, I'm a millionaire and I play ball and I'm gonna break you off and I'm gonna buy you a Chanel bag. You know, okay, don't get me wrong. I want a Chanel.
Yeah.
You know? But I need to know who you are from the inside, the core of makes you who you are. And that will save us, ladies, a lot of grief, and a lot of pain, and a lot of falling into these cycles and these bad relationships, when we truly sit down and say, who is this man, or who is this woman? And is this a person that you want to spend your life with? Is this a person that you want to give your time? stop dating the representative.
Right.
You know? And so stop dating the package. I'm talking about even to the point where a 6-pack. I can see that. You know, who are you? I'm a gym rat. No, who are you? You know what? I believe in health, you know, because of X, Y, and D. I am a healthy person. You know, I am an individual that, yes, I do like my image. You know, like, be honest with me.
Yeah, be honest.
That's it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm like, listen, I am feisty. Like, you know, I will run. I am a runner. I'm a track star. You know, I know this. So I'm going to tell you up front who I am. I am also very loyal. You know, I'm an individual that once my heart is open, I'm talking about it's wide open, vulnerable. But once it closes, it won't open again. You know, and so share the things who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. I am happy if I tell you who I am and you don't like me. Good.
Right.
You don't waste my time and I don't waste yours. You know, just think about how different the world would be if we were honest with each other on who we are.
Yeah, a lot. And allow yourself to change, because I tell you what, sometimes you think you know who you are, and who you think is not working for you. That's who you created due to whatever pain or circumstance you endured very young. And so you created a person that may have worked for then. Like that could have worked. Like who I was early probably worked for who I was early, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But there came a time where that person would have not been good in this relationship that I'm in right now.
I like this.
You know what I mean? For instance, my wife, if you would ask my wife right now, what is Louis' all-time favorite song? She'd probably still tell you, oh, it's Freebird. But it's not because of tune, because I wasn't a Southern rock lover at that time. I've come to love Southern rock in my old age, right? Mm-hmm. But as a young person, I hated Southern rock. But that song right there talked about leaving. And I had moved so much, man. I put it this way. I retired from a lot of stuff by age 19. If that just so I had already lived in multiple states on my own, lived in multiple cities on my own. I've already ran around a lot.
Experience in life.
So by that age, when I met Dana, I was like, girl, you know, even though I fell in love with her moment one, by the way, moment one, that's no lie. And I didn't believe in love at first sight, by the way. I was not seeking.
I've heard that though.
A relationship. But the moment I met her, I was like, boom, that's it. That's her.
So answer this, Louis.
Yeah.
I'm told that when a man sees you, they know exactly like what they want from you. Is that true?
Wait, say that again. Ask that again.
Like from the moment, like you said, I was told that when you interact with a man for the very first time,
right,
they know like where they want you in their life.
I don't know about for other men, but I could tell you what I knew was very different. It was as beautiful as Dana was. That was not the part that got me. It's so is because I met her when I was 20 years old. She was 19, right? And in my head did not objectify her at all, even though that was my custom at the time. Mm-hmm. At that time, the very first thing I'd notice on a woman was something physically, right? Something, you know, and then I would have this desire, right? From second one, and I knew, right? Whereas with her, I just wanted to know her. I just wanted to spend more time with her and I wanted to tell her things. I'd never wanted to tell. I had no desire to tell anything. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to share with her things. Like
but that's what I'm talking about.
So that's why I knew from moment one, because it was like, why do I feel this is a different feeling? And even later in the relationship, like, you know, as physical as I may be as a person, that was not the number one with her. It was like, no, I just want her to love me. I just want her to, when she says nice things about me, it's like, oh my God, what? Wow. You think that of me? Wow. I'm not worthy. And that wasn't me.
That you prove my point of that. I mean, that's what I've heard.
Okay. Well, then if other men have experienced that, then yes.
That's what I heard. Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily like, oh, I want to marry this individual, but
Yeah.
like you said, like they're beyond a booty call. Like, I really want to get to know this lady.
Look at that. Thank you, Marissa. Look at Marissa saying nice things. You and Dan are great together. Thank you, Marissa. Watching on Facebook Live.
Yes, they are. I love
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And you know what? But okay, so I know I pivoted, but going back, you made a good point.
Okay.
We change who we are through life.
Oh yeah.
So who I am today is, like you said,
right.
I'm not the woman at 20. I'll tell anybody, listen, at 20, I would circles around you. You know, I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not that lady anymore.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. That's also how people relationships.
Right.
You know, some people outgrow each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I am not the person I was when I married you at 25 and now I'm 40.
Yeah, the things I value today. It's whatever you value, I believe, right? Whatever I put value on is what means something to me today. And I value different things right now at 55 years old than I did in my teens or 20s or even 30s or 40s.
Right.
You know, and the things that I value now, I'm cool, you know, with a lot of simplicity. Whereas before I was run, do, run, run. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nah, I'm kind of good right here. I'm good.
That's how I feel. I finally and you make me think too of, because my favorite word is peace. Like I have found peace. I am in the most peaceful time of my life.
Beautiful.
And so it's, how can I say this? For me, I feel like with what we're talking about, that's who I am today. You know, I am an individual who loves and has learned what peace is. Right. And now that I know that, it's a part of every piece of me. And if I see anything other than I'm not gonna give it my time. But that took time also to realize who I was to find peace. You're smiling.
Because I love that. Because you know what gives me peace? I was thinking about that and I'm trying to internalize it. And the first thing I thought about is, depending on my role, depends on whether I speak up now. I'm going to give you an example. For instance, I'm the president of certain organizations, right? And board president. I'm a board president of this one organization that yesterday I was sitting there and a physician was presenting to the board. And he made a statement that was false. Now, mind you, I've been in the room with this person 3 times in my life. 3 times we've sat on the same panel of some sort of conference or whatever. This was the third. He was presenting at my board this time. But the other 2 times that I had met him, I had to correct him for saying something stupid and wrong. This is a high-level physician with a lot of clout. We don't get along because of those past 2 times, right? And now here I am in a third sister, and I said, oh, great, he's presenting here now at this, but I didn't bring him. They did. Okay, I'm sitting here. And he did it again. He said something wrong. This is something that gets recorded. This is something that you know, there's a lot of people in the room that, wait a minute, we cannot allow this lie to be put as fact. Nobody's challenging him because he's got all the letters behind his name, but I know he's wrong. So as he was walking out the door, thank you very much. I had to cut him time short because he just talked forever and stuff. So it already happened at the wrong time. I had to stop him.
Right.
You got to go. And when he's about to leave, I said, excuse me. And I had to by the way, you said this. It's incorrect. Can you just clarify? And then, so he goes, oh yeah, not technically. I said, well, just not. So he tried to give me language. So I had to ask specific. He made me ask him specific question. Is it this? No. Is it like this? And if I would tell you the thing, you would understand, but I'm not going to go on to it. I'm going to just say it like this. I had to ask 4 or 5 questions in a row for him to be honest. And by being honest on all 4, it shows. And so I said, thank you very much. And you can go now. But the point is that because I'm in that situation, I had to speak out. I'm telling you that whole story because in my life with my family, I don't always have to speak out.
Mhm.
So whereas we're in that role that I had there, when something was done incorrectly, I had to say something. What I've learned that in my personal life, if somebody says something ridiculous, like if one of my daughters says something ridiculous, or my wife says something ridiculous or whatever, and instead of having to correct it, like I would have to do in that other role,
Mhm.
I just whatever.
So I am outspoken.
I just don't have to. I don't have to correct. I don't have to be Citizens Arrest. I don't have to be Barney Fife. I don't have to be handing out tickets. If you don't know who Barney Fife is, Google him. You'll like it.
Okay.
I don't have to be telling everybody that they're wrong.
But it's still an example of who you
if
are.
it's not my role. So because I treat people for substance uses, or for instance, when people meet me, I don't like to say it, because as soon as I meet them and they got a drink in their hand or something like that, oh, I don't always drink like this, or this is look, I'll buy you a drink. I like you drink. My wife drinks. I'll get her drunk, man. I'm good with that. So you know what I mean? It's like you're not paying me to treat you, so that's not my role here. You know what I mean? Like, but that's my thing. It's like you didn't ask me for help, so I'm not gonna, chomp no want no help, chomp no get no help. Remember that from Airplane? Anyway, Google that if you haven't seen that.
I am honest. I am a keep it real type of person.
Yeah, I'm just a person that doesn't have to insert myself in situations where it's not necessary. And as a kid, I had to insert myself everywhere. So wherever I saw, something going wrong, it's dun dun dun. Here I come to save the day, and I had to go, correct the situation. Hey, by the way, you said that word wrong. The word is said like this. It's like, who cares, man?
I love that you're actually, you're sharing with individuals who are experiencing the same same place. You know who you are, and this is what I do because I am this way. Which I know I'm looking at this little corner and I see we're almost out.
Oh yeah, we're out of time. So go ahead.
I want to say this, and I'm gonna use myself as an example.
Okay.
Is a difference between saying I am a victim of sexual abuse versus I am a survivor.
Interesting. I like it.
So that is, I just want to encourage individuals who, if they are a victim of anything, become the opposite. Speak life over yourself. See the beautiful essence of your story, or you coming out of that dark cloud. Just think about things. I'm a loser. You don't have to be a loser forever. Like if you when you ask yourself who you are, you have the opportunity to change it. So I'm a jerk. I can work on not being a jerk, or I can decide I'm a jerk and I like it here. And
I did at times in my life. I did like it.
That honestly, because that's an example, and that took time.
Right.
I did a lot of speaking engagements, and I ran it down. I'm a victim of sexual abuse. I am a teen mom. I'm a single mother. No, I am a strong, incredible woman with a story. And because of that story, it has shaped me into the woman that I am. I am proud of the woman who I became.
Amen.
That's the difference of being in a I am broken state to I am success story. And it's not because of my job. It's not because I have an agency. It's not because I have a master's degree. That's not who makes me who I am. I can lose it tomorrow and I am still who I am.
And with that, we are out of time. Yeah. And I am like Johnny Cash, where I sing until my song is sung. And I think our song is sung. So
we sung it real good today.
Yeah. So anyway, let's throw it back to Shaw over there, WOKB Studios in Central Florida. Remember, it's what is it? 106.7. What is it? What is it?
No,
1060 and 100.7 FM. Yeah, I'm forgetting the call letters over there. No, I know the call letters, WOKB. But anyway, let's throw it back to Shaw, WOKB. Let them play some commercials and all that. Look, JoJo, we'll see you next time. And of course, Marissa said her final words were, "You should be proud, JoJo." And I agree with Marissa. You should be proud, JoJo. And with that, remember, you can follow me at The Dope Doctor. You can follow her at Limitless and Authentic, because she is, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, any and all that. Adios, amigos. It's time for a taco. Goodbye.
Nail says bye.